And this FSGS, I'm not even going to try and pronounce it but this kidney disease, what's the nature of the disease? And is there anything at the moment that kind of treats it? And that I know you're saying that there's no real treatment, but then there must be some sort of existing sort of standbys, I guess, is there?
So FSGS literally stands for some sections of the kidney are scarred, and what happens over time is more and more sections of the kidney become scarred until there's not enough to filter the blood, and you end up in renal failure. And unfortunately for these patients, they end up on either dialysis or transplant, typically within 5 years of diagnosis. The sad thing is this really affects children down as young as 2 years old as well as adults. So it's such a high unmet need with a fast progression to end-stage renal failure. Unfortunately, for those who get a transplant, 60% get reoccurring disease and also not an answer. Most of these patients are put on what's called an angiotensin receptor blocker. It's basically a blood pressure medication to try and lower the blood pressure and reduce the pressure in the kidneys. But unfortunately, the progression is still existing, so they're in desperate need for new treatments such as Dimerix. We are actually looking to get this into the hands of as many FSGS patients as we can around the world. This really is a disease that, in general, per capita, it's fairly uniform around the world in incidence rates. And so really,
Right.
we would like to help as many FSGS patients as we can. Now, to your question, US is probably from around 50% of the commercial opportunity, and that's largely driven by pricing in the US. But that does not discount the need for other territories and reflects on the licensing deals that we've done to date in the other territories.